It's time for TidBit Tuesday. Hello and welcome to our TidBit show. We are
I didn't even know we were starting.
No, I surprised her. Hello! We are in Wales. In our last video, we said that we are coming to England. And wait, did I say we were in Wales? We are not in Wales. Hello! We are in Bath, England. We're headed to Wales in just like 2 days?
Yeah.
I'm on top of this. If you are unaware, this is TidBit Tuesday. It is a show that we do every Tuesday where we talk about stuff and things around travel, not necessarily related to travel, because most of our other videos are travel, but that just sort of happens to be some of the stuff that we talk about. We're happy to take questions from the audience, so if you have an idea for what we can talk about in next TidBit Tuesday, put that in the comments down below. There should be a pinned comment. Maybe you can comment on that. It's easy for me to keep track from that way.
Yeah. It's also easier for us to know what you guys want to know.
Yes, definitely. So today, Ashley has come up, because we didn't see any ones on the last video. Ashley came up with something that has been brought up before in the past, and also one that we've discussed with people when we meet them in person, is like, man,
like everyday things.
Yeah, like everyday things can be difficult when you're doing full-time travel.
Yeah.
And not just full-time travel, but they really seem to present themselves when you travel like we do, which is maybe a week here, maybe 2 days there, maybe 2 weeks there. And it all becomes really interesting, I guess.
Yeah. No, I mean, we found that things that are just normal everyday things that you would find super easy are difficult when you're overseas, when you're in another country, whether like specifically if you're in a country that everything's in another language,
Right.
But still can be difficult when you are in a country like England, where it's still in English, but they have different names for things.
And they just do things differently because, just to start off the video, I thought was really interesting. The very first time I came to England, I thought, oh, it's going to be like America. They speak English. No, it's a totally different culture. It is a foreign country. We just speak a very similar language.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only thing we really have in common, is that we speak a similar language. Their culture is totally different from the US. And I thought that was so strange and foreign. Back to the topic at hand. What are some difficult or interesting things that you find while traveling?
Yeah. So one of the things that often I find extremely difficult is doing laundry.
That's like the first, that's like the main thing, I think.
Yeah, because we're moving quite quickly, we always have to be somewhere where if they don't have a washing machine or a dryer, which is often the case, they don't have dryers.
It's mostly the US that has dryers.
Yeah, in other countries. So you have to have enough amount of time for your laundry to wash, which usually it's like a 2-hour wash period, and then for it to dry as well. So it's going to take like 1 full day to 2 full days.
If it's warm out.
To 3 full days. Yeah. So that's like one thing. And then the whole washing machine situation is not in English a lot of the times that we found. So knowing what buttons to press, which ones to turn it to, and none of them are the same. It's a pain in the butt. Also, if you don't have a washing machine, having to find a laundromat, going to the laundromat, getting like we can't carry around huge laundry soaps. We can't carry around these things. So every once in a while we can find like a little bottle, or we can find like little packages, but we don't always have these things on hand. So that also can be difficult because we're constantly either buying it. I usually try to find Airbnbs that have
that's one thing.
A washing machine, but I have in Taiwan, I had to go to 3 different stores to try to get money, to get change, to get soap, and then go to the laundromat and do my laundry. It just is different everywhere, and always is difficult.
Yeah, and if we are doing our own laundry, usually we have to use our imagination. If it's in a foreign language, be like, okay, I'm gonna guess they want us to pick what kind of cycle. So we try to pick the most neutral looking cycle. Maybe it's like green text, so we know it's like the auto mode or whatever.
Or eco.
Yeah, eco, whatever it is. Try to pick the most basic stuff. And then usually there's like one button that's dedicated to the temperature of the water, and we usually wash them on pretty cold because we do multicolors. So we'll like push the button until it gets cold.
It's a process.
And then we usually just leave the spin cycle alone, and then when we go, I guess we'll put soap into this tray if they had soap. Otherwise, Ashley has to go out and get that. And then we hit start and we like wait for a minute, wait for the door to go click, like it locks, and then we wait for it to go and we're like,
okay, we did it. Hopefully.
I think it's going.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's one of the more difficult things. Another difficult thing that we find is grocery shopping.
Yeah, so if you're in a place for only 2 days or a week, or you're going like 2 days, then you have to fly somewhere. You can't buy too far ahead. Sometimes when you go to an Airbnb, they don't have all the basics. What would I consider basic? Like, let's say olive oil, salt,
pepper,
coffee. Yeah, coffee's nice to have, but really just salt, oil, and pepper, I feel like. And sometimes they don't even have that. So if you're going to go cook for 2 days in a place, you have to buy a container of salt. And some places have small ones.
Olive oil always comes in giant ones.
Yeah.
So it's so hard to find.
It's usually more economical to buy the big one than the small one.
Yeah. So, and we do it often because we
to
cook.
I don't know how many times we've bought like a whole thing of olive oil and be like, well, I guess that's theirs now.
Person. Yeah.
Yeah, so you don't actually save a ton of money cooking for yourself when you're in a shorter stay, because you have to buy all the things that you usually just sort of have in your kitchen. Yeah. So we've found that sometimes eating out is the cheaper way to go. Like if you're gonna spend $3 on a wrap or a kebab, you're gonna spend like $5 to get all the ingredients and make something yourself. You know.
Sometimes that is the case. Other places though, it is a lot cheaper to grocery shop. So when we do grocery shop, we do plan like yesterday I bought a thing of chicken wings. We are in this Airbnb for 3 days. We will eat those chicken wings for 3 days.
3 days straight.
Because you just split them up and we have them. So that's usually like the way it works is we don't have a different meal every night or every day. We just buy one thing. Like our cereal, we have yogurt, we have granola, we have bananas, and we have oatmeal. That will be our breakfast for the next 4 or 5 days, and we'll have the same exact thing. And
we bought butter, which is more than we use right now. But we have a car, and we're going directly from like one residence to another, so we can bring the butter without it melting everywhere. We bought just enough bread that is going to last us like 2 days, basically, all chopped up, and we can have like buttered bread and different things.
And a teeny tiny baby milk for tea.
I'm almost positive that milk. I have to get it. I have to show you.
It's so perfect.
This
thing. So cute.
I'm almost positive that this milk is designed specifically for spotted milk.
A tea drinker.
Here
in England.
Has to be what it's for. Just
boop. So we tried to purchase the exact amounts that we're going to need in the place that we're in.
Another thing that is difficult while we travel is internet. Maybe this isn't quite as important for the average traveler, but for people like us who work online, we need to publish videos. Internet is a big deal. We try to look for Airbnbs or residences that have internet, but it's always unreliable. And you'd be surprised at the countries that don't have good internet. We're in England right now. Internet across much of England is relatively bad for the rest of the world. Yeah,
US is not great. We have not found good internet.
Our internet is out right now. We cannot use the internet, so we're recording a video for you. It's just sort of interesting how some of the least developed places we've been seem to have like amazing internet, and some of the more developed places don't have internet. I think that's maybe because the infrastructure is already there, and it's hard to work around existing infrastructure to lie down like fiber optic cables across your whole country. Or perhaps more authoritarian governments are easier to just like, well, we're putting a cable here. I don't know the politics behind it. Yeah. But
the way we try to get around that is usually with Airbnb hosts, I ask them to run something called a speed test where it will show us the upload and download speed. Yeah. And so if they send me that, usually we know what to expect when we come to a place. Specifically with our videos, we like to look for 1 megabyte up at minimum. The least amount.
That means it'll take several hours to upload?
Yeah, it'll take several hours for one video to upload. So that is a difficult thing specifically for us that we come across quite often.
Another thing that I think is really difficult I think this one applies more specifically to our style of travel, which is more long term, is that there's things that we want and we just can't buy them. Today we were out in Bath and we went past a Tiger. It's kind of like a cheap little store, not quite a dollar store, but very inexpensive stuff.
Yeah.
And we were at the Tiger going, that's so cute. I want that. That's so neat. And we were just like, we were both kind of like a little bit sad about it. Like, we don't have a real use for that because we are going to move from here in 48 hours and we don't have a place to put it otherwise.
Specifically, like, a lot of people have noticed my big black hat that's right there. I cannot pack that hat. No. I can't squish it. So
that was a big decision.
Yeah, every travel day, I have to wear this hat as long as I have it. It was $5, so that helps because at some point I'm going to ditch it. But for now, I have to wear this hat every day we travel, as well as I have boots that I bought. And that was also a conscious decision, knowing that every travel day when I have my heavy bag on my back, I have to wear these boots that are not flat boots. They have a heel on them. Mm-hmm. So they can get uncomfortable for a long period of time. But because I wanted boots, I had to make that decision. I can't put them in my bag by themselves, like, without wearing them.
I left my Red Wing Heritage boots back home this year. Just because I noticed I didn't wear them quite as much last year and I did not want to haul them around. And I've been looking at Chelsea boots for a few years now, trying to find just the right pair that wasn't too expensive but also fit well. And I just can't pull the trigger on them because I know that I'm either going to have to wear them every day when we're traveling, or I'll have to like get really creative about stuffing them in my bag, and it's just going to make the bag heavier.
Yeah.
So.
And I would love a nice jacket, like being.
Oh, we were looking at jackets today too.
So warm. I mean, it's so
puffy jackets.
Yeah, it's just beginning to be fall.
Fuzzy jackets.
Like a nice coat
leather
would
jackets.
be amazing. But I know every travel day I'm gonna have to carry it and wear it, and I'm already so hot because I have all these bags on me.
Yep.
I just know that it is. I can't do it. I have nowhere to keep it, and. I have to carry it everywhere. Along
with that, we're getting a little bit older compared to young people. We're 31. We're 32 years old now. Yeah. And, we would like a house and that sort of thing. And oftentimes we'll see something like, oh, that would be perfect. I could just see like this aesthetic in our home, or even like a small art piece, or like a little a candle even. And we're like, oh, that'd be so nice. And so one of the ways that we reward ourselves is if we know we're going to be somewhere for like a week, sometimes we'll get like a scented candle. Yeah. And we'll make our own little home.
Make it feel like home. Like a candle is definitely something that makes a place feel like home to us.
We'll make like a home style purchase to feel like settled. So that's a fun thing that we do to sort of take back a little ownership of the way we've been traveling.
Yeah. And we light it every day until we go.
Yeah. Wait, how long has this been? Oh, it's already 13 minutes. Okay, so I think that has been a good little breakdown of some of the stuff that we find difficult about traveling.
Yeah, it's not a video meant to complain at all or anything. No. Just to share some things that are like normal, everyday things for everyone that are a lot more difficult when you're full-time traveling.
Totally. So anyhow, wayfam, I hope we encouraged you to get out there and travel today. And I'm actually going to use that as the real outro because this was specifically about travel. So, I think that's it for this Tidbit Tuesday. Yeah. Let us know in the comments if you enjoyed this. Have you found any difficult parts about traveling for you specifically?
Yeah, that would be interesting. I would love to hear.
And if you have any ideas about what we should talk about for next week, please let us know in the comments down below. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Bye.